Hello to everyone. I am Professor Raja, working as Assistant Professor EC Department, SNS College of Technology and Autonomous Institution Coimbatore. In this YouTube video, I am going to discuss about 23 ECET 212 Linear Control System subject under Unit 1 Control System Modeling for the topic Elements of Control System. This topic will provide the basic introduction about what is in the control system and what are the basic components available in control system and how it is classified. Now let us move on to the topic. Now we are going to see the introduction to control system. Now we can see the core objective of this subject. Model common control system components. Select an appropriate control algorithm to PID type or one of its variations. Analyze the performance of a control algorithm using transfer functions, block diagrams and computer methods in light of given performance specification using MATLAB and Simulink to analyze and simulate control system. Next we can see the basic component of a control system. The basic component of a control system consists of three main classifications. One is called the input, second one is called the control system component, and the third one is called the output. Otherwise we can say the objective of control is called as the inputs, and the controller, plant, actuator, sensor is called the control system components, and the third result or output is called as the final output. In example, for a robot, the sensors are used to find an optical image, displacement, speed, force, torque, pressure, voltage, current, and actuators are used to find in AC motors, DC motors, step motors, hydraulic actuators for their movement of one place to another place. Next we can see in detail. The control systems are further classified into two types. One is called the open loop control system, another one is called the closed loop control system. Now we are clearly see about what is in the open loop control system. So if you see this figure, the input is given to the controller, then the controller will control the actuator, then the actuator will control the plant, finally the output is derived. If there is any problem in the plant area, for example, if you are taking, this is the one controlled environment of temperature monitoring in a petroleum pump. If this plant having more number of high temperature, then there should be a cause of bomb blast is available. So if you cannot control the output, then the entire input and controller actuator will have the problem of demolishing. So in order to avoid this, we are taking a feedback element to again the input for safeguard. For example, in plant we are designing only for 30 degrees centigrade. The sensor will find what is the current temperature of this plant by using temperature sensor. If the plant temperature is higher than the normalized value, then the sensor will again deactivate the input to switch off the controller immediately, so that the heavy damage will be avoided. So that is called open loop control system. In open loop control system, there is no control between output and input. Whatever the input is given, the controller will perform, actuator will perform, plant will perform, and finally the output is delivered. This is the another example of the name of a closed loop control system. Here, instead of input, we are taken as a reference input. So the reference input will compare the present input with the past output, so that if any error is occurred, that will be rectified in this path itself. So here error signal is measured by taking the difference between reference signal minus the sensing signal. That is very important part. Next we can see some example of control system applications. In general, the control system applications are used in washing machine, step motors, ideal speed motors, and sometimes home heating systems are used in the control system applications. And sometimes the electrical vehicle also used for control application, and robotics arms is also used for controlling the electrical vehicle part in control system. Next we can see the good example of home heating control system in detail. So if you see this figure, inside room temperature is some temperature and outside room temperature is some temperature. Say the outside is called the reference temperature and the inside room temperature is called the VT temperature. And if any noise or any disturbance is occurring outside the home or inside the home, that is called TB, the disturbance. The disturbance may be happen due to door window is open and the wall window is having some damage or some heat transfer occurred during the rainy season. So in order to detailedly discuss in this topic, kindly see the below block diagram. In this block diagram, the VR is the reference temperature. For example, it is 30°. The controller or thermostater will measure the room temperature and it is given to valve for further connection. Now, if any disturbance is occurred, then this temperature may be increased or decreased, and this can be given to plant for further identifying the temperature sensor. If this plant doesn't control the noise level or particular temperature, then the output will have a heavy damage. So in order to avoid this temperature sensor input is again given back to the original input signal in the name of error. This error medium will take the difference between this reference input minus this sensor output. If anything is higher or anything is lower, depend upon this value, the valve is either open or closed to provide a plant with the proper temperature. So that is the good example of a control system. So if the error VR minus VT is greater than 0, then the status is cold, or otherwise if the control action is open valve. If the error VR minus VT is less than 0, then the hot will be the status, then we have closed the valve. So depend upon the reference temperature and the measured temperature, the control system automatically opened or closed the valve for further safeguard. Next we have see the cruise control system example. So cruise control example means based on the driver controlling speed, based on the driving speed and based on the automated set speed, depend upon the road path traffic arrangement, automatically the speed will be arranged in this cruise control system. Next, the mathematical model. As I told earlier, it is a control of engine along with the car model. Next is the control system application in industrial robotics. It is mainly used in inverted pendulum controller, and also it is mainly used in ball grabber. Next, I plan to give some assessment, students. How does the controller use the information from the sensor to make decision? So the answer will be the controller compares the actual temperature reported by the sensor with the desired set point target temperature. If the temperature deviates from the set point, the controller computes the error and determines the necessary control actions to correct it, such as adjusting the heating element's output. So in this YouTube video, I discussed what is meant by control system and some of the components of the control system and some example of a control system with a heating element in inside the home and automatic cruise control. Next YouTube video, I will bring the new topic. Thank you for watching my video.